just turning on the camera and talking and just exposing the truth. I've just been sitting here, like I was curled up like this. This is what brings me comfort right now. I was just sitting here for like good couple minutes, just like staring at nothing, and I just thought what would make me feel better is to actually document this, because I know that I'm not the only one who goes through something like this, through burnout. I never thought that I would, up until pretty much now. When people talk about burnout, like I understand the concept of it, but I didn't quite understand it. And now I feel like I'm in it and I just want to melt. Like I feel like my brain is fried. I feel so burnt out, I can't even explain this. This is what burnout looks like, where I cannot think, I feel fatigued, I am not motivated to do anything, I constantly feel exhausted, even though I try really hard to let myself get proper sleep, because oftentimes that really is one of the core problems. I don't know, everything just feels like it's falling apart and I have no idea how to deal with it. And usually the way I deal with difficulties and challenges in life is to create, and my only outlet, well not my only outlet, but the most passionate outlet, I guess you can say, that would help me in this moment, which is creating, is no longer. It's like there's a river or a dam, the place that it normally flows through, the tunnel or whatever, is clogged by a lot of sticks and bricks and rocks and not cute things. And I'm like trying my hardest to remove like a pebble out of all of it, and it's just not happening. It feels insignificant, and then that makes a person feel insignificant. Like the fact that this is so, the fact that the angle of this shot is all wrong. You're at this lower angle, there's all this weird space here, and I'm not even bothered to fix this. Like this is it, this is reality, this is life, this is the reality of a burnt out creator. I don't know if I'm ever gonna put it up, but I feel like I need to just see this. Sometimes you just go through life, a lot of the times in autopilot, you know, if you're really not conscious of what you're doing in life, you end up on autopilot, and then you don't take a second to just pause and breathe and take a step back and be like, holy this is what you're doing, this is where you are. I keep trying to tackle the next day and tackle the next task, and what's that saying? All I could do is the action. Put out the fire. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to just put out fire after fire, and it's all these little ones that are just occurring around me. You know that meme of that dog where like the whole bloody house is on fire or something, and it's just like sipping tea or doing something in the middle of it, and it's like, this is fine. I feel like I'm just about there as well, but also I feel like I don't have time to be here, so I'm like trying to use my little cup of tea to like pour out this whole house of fire, and obviously it's not going to do anything. It's just like every day I'm just using like one tiny cup of water to just attempt, because that's me trying to make myself feel better, that I'm like, I don't know, taking one step at least. And yes, it's a good thing to just do something small so you don't completely let go of yourself. It's not really about trying to put it out as fast as you can. It's more like, let's be strategic about this. Let's figure out how we're going to recover from this. I guess that starts by acknowledging where I am, and so here we are. I hope some of you guys can resonate. I mean, I hope you don't, because I don't want you guys, anyone, to really like have to go through this. Sorry, that was just my laptop. But if somebody out there resonates and somebody is like, yep, going through the same thing, like, here we are. There's so many creators that warn you about burnout, that talk about burnout, that go on breaks because of burnout, and I think it's really difficult, especially in the creative community, like the content creation community, because, you know, like, it's global, it's on the internet. There's someone always awake who's going to see your content, and you know, that is something that I take into account. I want to always put my best foot forward and always make the best kind of quality content that I can make, but then that adds so much pressure to just maximize your potential, reach your fullest potential, and that is always something that I want to do. I definitely strive for that, but right now, like, that's not even, I can't even think about that when I'm in this burning house. All I want to do is do mindless activities, like watch anime and, I don't know, game, and I don't know, it's like temporary things that will make me happy. I think it's just like I'm just trying to claw at whatever moment of happiness and content that I can find in this current state. Then after all of that and the sun goes down, I'm just finding myself like, here, this is what I call my little carpet time, okay? Because look, this is my there's a little carpet here, okay? And I'm just on my floor carpet timing, but in like a sad way. There's like a happy carpet time, and then there's a sad carpet time, and me curling up in a ball on my carpet doing sad carpet time is not an ideal life. I guess I'm just trying to find ways to rejuvenate myself and not feel like I'm having to claw my way out of this like every bloody day. There needs to be a solution here. And oftentimes people are like, the solution is a break, but to be honest, that gives me more stress. Like, I don't know. I know a lot of people are like, okay, I'm burnt out, so I'm gonna take a stress from like creating and posting, and I just feel like that, even the thought of that, I took a little break for Christmas, and that's why maybe my uploads have just been inconsistent. And honestly, I know, like, to grow as a YouTuber, you need to be doing ABC things to like become the biggest and the best, and quite frankly, in this moment, that is so not on my priority list. Like, every time I put stuff out there, I try to make it the best material possible to help you guys and to serve in some way, and hopefully you guys can get some value out of the things that I make. But right now, like, doing that consistently is just not, in this state, just doesn't feel possible. Doing this feels possible. Just turning on the camera and talking and just exposing the truth of what the reality is, I guess, because it's not always pretty. It's not always like done with lighting, which, by the way, like, that irks me too. Like, there's no cute lighting here, there's no cute design. I have one little, what is it called, couch cushion thing here, my blue hoodie, and that's it. It's not always cute. And my makeup, I don't even have lipstick on. Like, it's just it's not always going to be glam. It's not always going to be designed and styled in the way where you want to be the most presentable, because yes, there are channels and there are people who do that, and ideally I want to be always putting my best foot forward that way. Sometimes you just ball. Small ball, that's what I call it. This is the small ball. Everybody, if you're feeling not good, do the small ball, because it helps. It does. And a lot of the times when you're burnt out, you want to just try to remember like your goals or your mission and where it all started. I think that's a good place to come at it. Like, question, why are you even doing what you're doing? Do you even love what you're doing? And I know that I love it because it's been something that's been a part of my life. Like, creating has been a part of my life for most of my life. But I started like this, just camera, hit record, no equipment really, so the quality was obviously shoddy, no script. So I started vlogging, and I miss it a lot. Yes, you can say that being on camera, people are trying to show something or present themselves, but then I started vlogging partly because of that. I wanted to show my life and share my life, and then also a large part of it is like to document life for myself, like this. Even the parts that aren't good, because it's important to me for me to be able to look back on these moments and just remember the high moments and the low moments. This feels like a pretty low moment. My brain has never felt more fried, and I've been under like high stress, high pressure situations. I feel like I was still able to go on autopilot mode and just excuse the emotions that I was feeling, just to, because it was like a high survival mode phase of my life. And this feels like there isn't even the option to go on autopilot anymore. And that's how I know I'm burnt out. Like, it actually feels like my brain is scrambled. Like, everything right before this burnout phase, I was doing pretty well. Like, I had a whole plan, I had a whole Notion map going on. I spent like 2 weeks setting up my Notion, and I will still use it. Those 2 weeks will not go to waste. I will still use my Notion planning when I can get through this, and you know, I will, you will, because that's life. You get back up and you go. I'm just trying to figure out how to do that right now, but I had a whole system going. Content that was going to roll out on schedules and all these different ideas. I mean, my Notion looks very, very, very good. I'll tell you that. I felt very strong and very prepared, and it almost felt like out of nowhere, it just all collapsed on me. And it's like in a moment, I just froze, and I felt like I just couldn't do it anymore. I've been doing research, and I've been talking to different people and trying to gather resources on this, and I know everybody has their own ways. I wonder if this is just something like I have to wait out, and I know I have to do like a combination of things, like probably don't pick up more work, but it feels impossible because like life continues. It's a cycle. My brain is fried, my brain has melted, but then I have responsibilities, so I have to get up and try to achieve them or go do them anyways. And then if I just do a little tiny bit of that and give just a little bit of energy, I feel exhausted all over again, which makes me want to do like meaningless tasks or like meaningless things, like brainless activities, which makes me feel guilty and stressed because I have responsibilities. And then I'm like, okay, I need to go do stuff. I need to achieve things. I need to go create. And then I'm like, oh, I can't create because my brain is fried. And it's just this vicious cycle. I think a lot of the times you just see quality content put out day after day after day by your favorite creators, and it's impressive. It's amazing, and I aspire to be able to do that. But right now, I think when you don't have a system in place, and I do think it is about a system. I had a system. It's like when you don't have like the right tools, I guess is a better way to say it, such as like when to rest and when to give yourself permission to not do work, and like how to balance that with your health and fitness, and how to balance that with like, I don't know, getting somewhere with content creation and all of that. And it's just like when you don't necessarily understand yet how to do that, I think it's easier to fall into this place. There are very successful content creators out there who do their thing, and it's pretty crazy to me because it takes a lot of work ethic. If you're new to content creation or you're just learning about it now and this is the video that you stumbled upon, first of all, I am sorry. But this is something that is very real, so maybe you should see this. But also that it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of work, and I think a lot of people overlook it because of the different industries or fields, or because influencer industry is very big now, and you'll see every other person on Instagram be an influencer. And I never see it as a small feat when a content creator, no matter what they do, can find success in what they do, because I think no matter what it is that you put out there, to be able to get to a certain scale as a content creator is work. It's a lot of perseverance, consistency, work, patience, and honestly, belief. Belief that what you are putting on the table and showing to your audience is worthy of their time, or, you know, you're proud of your work. I mean, different people have different values. Mine is that I always hope to provide value with the work that I put out and with quality. I think because I have those values, oftentimes it makes it a lot more difficult for me to just create videos like this, where there's no necessarily like high production quality. Hopefully there's some value. Maybe the value of this, if nothing else, if this just feels like a rant, which maybe it is, maybe the value is just that some of you guys just want to hang out and have a buddy when you're also feeling burnt out. I'll be your burnt out buddy, and we'll figure it out together. Leave a comment down below if you have found ways out of this cycle and would like to share, or if you are currently going through it and if your story sounds similar to mine, or just if you want to say hi, say hi. Let's hang out here until we can find our way out of this. If this video ever goes up, and if and when I find my way out of this, when you find your way out of this, we'll give each other an update. Okay? And sometimes when you go through these overwhelming moments, phases in life, and you don't really know who to turn to, it can feel lonely, and it can feel like a very isolated incident where people don't get it. And I assure you, there's a lot of people who get it. Maybe not necessarily in the exact sequence that you're experiencing it, or mine. But if you found this video and you resonate, or you've been here in the past, or you know somebody who's been here, then I think that's all the more proof that we don't go through it alone. And now it's about expressing it if you feel the need to, like I am here. It helps to say it out loud and to speak about it out loud. And then we just try to figure out how to move forward from here. You got this. You're strong enough. It's a new year. May not have been the best start to the new year, but every day is a new opportunity to try again, to grow, and to create a life that you're proud of.